British High Commissioner to Nigeria has urged political parties to accept and respect the results of the forthcoming 2023 general election and refrain from actions that would instigate post-election violence. The British envoy, while addressing newsmen in Abuja, urged candidates and political parties to rather resort to the judiciary to contest results. She said that following her engagement with the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the UK government is confident of the process. The British envoy said that President Muhammadu Buhari had also said on countless occasions that handing over to a successor through a peaceful election would be his biggest legacy.
The election in Nigeria is really important, not just for all of you as Nigerian citizens, but for this region, West Africa, where sadly we've seen quite a lot of democratic backsliding, for Africa as a whole and for the world. The world's eyes will be on Nigeria, are on Nigeria, and what happens here will send a very strong signal. So in the run-up to this election, and indeed following the last election, and I was here for the last election, we've continued to invest in trying to create the conditions for a credible, free and fair, secure election, recognising, of course, this is a job primarily for Nigeria, but we tried to play our part. So we've worked very closely with INEC and with civil society to ensure that they are fit for purpose. So that means that the heads of the political parties in particular must commit to respect the outcome of the vote and signal that to all of their supporters. And if indeed they are going to contest anything, that needs to be done through the judicial process, not through any violence. So the peace accord that we saw signed on the 29th of September is very important, and I'm very pleased to see that there'll be a second signing on the 23rd, and I will be there representing the UK. And that the UK remains absolutely in step with you as you go and continue your democratic journey. The data on electoral related violence, and it is up on the previous election. I think it was almost twice the number of violent incidents. So we've all seen what's been happening, attacks on INEC stations, attacks from one party trying to prevent another party doing a rally and so on. So we are concerned. And perhaps the thing we're most worried about is actually post-election violence, as we saw in, I can't remember the year, but the year when Jonathan took over, where there was a lot of post-election violence. If any one of the party's supporters feels this election was stolen, my candidate should have won, there is a risk of violence. And that's why I said in my opening remarks how important it is that the leaders of the political parties impress upon all their supporters now, before they go and vote, that they have the right to vote peacefully, of course, but equally it's really important for Nigeria's democracy that people respect the result, because that's the heart of democracy. Somebody wins, somebody loses. And if you feel for any reason the election wasn't in your area, wasn't credible, transparent, there is a process, and that's the courts. And that's the way that the challenge has to come through. What would be tragic, frankly, for Nigeria on this really crucial moment in your democratic journey where you've been making great strides forward if there is a repeat of 2011 with that widespread post-election violence.